Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be riddled with our own, life stories, some peppery, some acidic, some very, very bitter, some, hard to swallow. But at the end of the day, hopefully something mildly sweet. Hi.
Hey, so we are talking Love After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 3, The 40K Felon. She's going to be hard for me to watch.
Yeah. Oh my God. And here she's talking about Joyami.
Joy Nomi.
Joynomi.
Yeah.
That it is okay.
Mm-hmm.
She is she is a she is our beautiful woman who is so suffering from such deep insecurity, such self-hatred, such problems. And I think that as women, we don't want her to be like just taken down just to be a lesson. But I think that what is important here is to value yourself, and how you value yourself resonates in every way. So like even the hardest scenes, watch scene of her pawning off jewelry, the how she doesn't value herself is how she doesn't value her history, is how she doesn't value heirlooms from her grandmother. Everything is so connected that I have a lot to say about it. So anyway,
Yeah.
I know it's a
I
hard
mean,
watch.
it's how are you proud to be? I'm very proud to be what I am, but then I give away things and that I was like, is this fake? Because how can you just say that out loud in a pawn shop with your sister standing there? It just felt it was so unbelievable to me. And I think everything is real. Well, let's just start with them. We got a new couple, y'all.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's Joy Nomi and Red.
Joy know me. Joy know me. Joy know me. Joy know me. Okay, got it. Got it. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't got it. Go ahead.
Lock it in. No, I
Okay, so
don't got
she's
it.
full Navajo. She grew up on the reservation. She's like exactly like Wa said. I love my culture. I'm very proud of growing up with the traditions we had. And she has a son, and her son is named Sway. He's adorable. She talks about Red, who is now 5 days to his release, and she tells Sway like, "Ready for Dad to come home?" Like, "Are you ready for Dad to come home?" So we're like, you know, I mean, well, just because it's like Joy Nomi is Navajo. Sway is a beautiful child that looks like maybe Sway's dad is also like maybe like black or whatever, like and we know that Red is black, and so we don't know that Red is who Red is into this to him yet. And son just seems like or father just seems like a certain thing. Anyway, we get more information about her though. One is that Param, she has never really felt what it's like to have like a continuous sexual relationship with someone, much less someone that you would be dating, much less like a boyfriend. She has not experienced that, which is, I think like, is feeding a part of her that has like cycled into the kind of affection and the kind of relationship she can tolerate, which is a lot of online dating. She's incredibly shy. She calls herself. I think it's the deep insecurity. She talks about wanting to have kind of online fairy tale relationships where she doesn't really have to ever be in one, and she just gets to have 4 good morning texts in the morning, which again is like a concept we talk about a lot. Like I feel like we talk about good morning texts a lot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And across the board in 90 Day Fiance, from like, and men and women, Tyree or whatever, the importance of that kind of connection and what that means for someone who like can't seem to feel like they can get out there and do it. It's so specific.
Men, women, and Tyree.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. I,
That's
I
so
know, but I was like,
funny. That was so funny. It was like I was so into your like sweet, your nice thing that you were trying to say. It was so like well stated, and then you were like men, women, Tyree.
I was like,
That was
here's
the
another
shadiest,
example.
shadiest shit ever.
He's very much a man. I actually swear. I mean, well, I really did give that. He is very much a man. Now I don't know who he was talking to, honey. But God bless.
Yeah. So she tells us that she cheated on this man who was not ever out of prison. She cheated on him and had, because she was lonely. He went into like lockup for 6 months. Here's my thing: if someone goes into lockdown for 6 months, that means that for 6 months they have only seen the sunlight for 1 hour a day. That person is not right. Like, people who stay extensively in the shoe, they don't come out right. You can't do that. So now I'm like, oh, this person is going to leave her, and it feels like you have told your son that that is his dad, all on a fake ass, fairy tale ass, not real ass shit. And you've brought your son into this like drama. And it's just like very, very sad. She says that she only has one night stands. And so she got pregnant because she like went out or did something and let a guy bust in her. I'm like, you can't even be somebody you've had more. Like, I mean, I get it. People get pregnant on one night stands. It's just, it sucks. It really sucks. If she like just really drunk, like, it just really sucks. And she just never told that person.
That part.
And yes, she never told that person that she got pregnant. And so now her son will never know somebody who was actually blood related to them, who she could actually put on some kind of child support. Like, it just feels like a lot of things that she's done and we've seen. It's just like thing after thing. I haven't talked to him in a couple of days, 4 weeks, because he's been in whatever, in like lockdown or whatever. Now I need $500.
This is okay. It gets really bad. Like, once there's all of the, when you, okay, I'm so sorry. Let me finish the sentence. So let me start it now. We're just learning about her. And I will say, unfortunately, it becomes incredibly watchable when there is just horrible choice after horrible choice in someone like her, because you don't want to watch it, but you're like, oh my God, yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, you're dating an inmate. B, you have this brand new son. C, you're like, have all these deep insecurity issues. We don't know if this person is going to be like, taking advantage of you. And then on top of that, you never told the person that you made a child with. Like, that's a bananas level. Like, what's happening there? Who was he? Why couldn't you tell him? Was he like, you just never saw him again? You didn't know his name. It was someone you didn't want to tell. Like, because I can't imagine she just like suddenly took a trip to Vegas. And maybe she did. Do you think she suddenly took a trip to Vegas and just got drunk somewhere and was like, I have no idea who that person is?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So, God bless. So he ends up finding out, Red does, but not before what even is a horrible, horrible scene that hurts us to watch, which is that in order for her to procure $500, and let me just go back to this. I don't know a lot about Navajo Nation and like where she is in reservations, but how come Jade and Chris, how come Chris is getting $10,000 goddamn dollars a month? Can the Navajos get like a little like casino action? How come this girl has to like sell her grandmother's antique jewelry, all the beautiful turquoise, all the sterling silver to raise $500? Feels like she is working as I think some sort of medical, she said professional assistant, where she has already given him like $40,000, but it's over the years and like certain stimulus checks. And she asked other people, she borrowed from people to give him money, which is like, did you tell them, by the way, who their money was going to? Anyway, God bless. And maybe if this person had money, it would just be like a reverse Jade and Chris, where she was just giving all her money. But like, I was just surprised, like we need to get some people to, get some money,
We need some New Mexico casinos. I'm sure they do have it. It broke my heart. $500 is like not even, okay. Showing my privilege here. Why didn't I was like, instead of giving away your grandmother's jewelry, just take out a credit card. And that's a privilege thing saying. You can get a low ass whatever. and just like put the hotel on there, make sure it has some decent points, put the hotel on there. And she's like, I know he's going to come out and he's going to start paying bills. Bitch, when? When? Have you ever watched this show? You have. That's why you signed up for it. So you know that sometimes they come out and they're like, ooh, which is exactly what's happening with Brittany and Andy. But they come out and they don't want that shit. And then you are stuck left with this fantasy and giving away all of this money. And, you know, it broke my heart. It was really hard to watch. Her sisters are just letting it not letting it, but watching it happen. And it's hard for them. And
she has a lot of sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of sisters. They came over, you know, like some of her sisters are like real dressed up. There's one sister that comes over before she pawns the jewelry with a bunch of beautiful jewelry. Now, that's not the same sister that she goes to the pawn shop with. And I was like, I bet you for sure didn't ask your other sister because you knew sure as hell the other sister would be like, what the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Absolutely, that's not mine. You know, like, oh my God, sorry. So
yeah,
that's, yeah.
We also get another sister scene. Same thing with Monique and her sisters is like, you haven't seen this person you haven't seen the prisoner in person. Are you worried that he's going to worry about the way you look? And I'm like, ooh. And then again, we get a lot of photos like this. We get a lot of interesting shots, and I really hope he doesn't come out and do her dirty. I need for him to at least be like Chance. So not all the way dirts. Trying, but failing.
I think that if he tries, he'll just pick a fight and pick a reason to leave.
Yeah.
And it's not, and he is whatever he is as a person. We haven't really met him yet. We like barely have heard him talk. So like, but for someone like her, she has to pull herself out of this self-hatred, and she has to find self-worth and value for any relationship to even have an iota of success. So not even put it on him and where he's going to come from, which is the fucking shoe. He's coming from the worst place possible to be able to handle someone who might be broken like her or living some sort of fairy tale land. And I mean, this is like a disaster. This is like a train wreck waiting to happen. So that's why I'm saying, like, this is where, I mean, if I go to the pearly gates and I'm like, I want in, they're like, well, definitely you watched season 5, episode 3, the 40K Felon, and we're like, I want more. And so I don't know. I don't know, Chris. This is like, not the place for you, honey.
Not this place. Straight to hell. So
I was like, Drew, I was like, you turn into a walking, drooling face emoji at the thought of more of this. And you think you deserve a place here? Like, no,
wrong one.
Bye. No. And then like, you know, just like push button. Yeah, of course, push button. And it's like, woo! You know, just like a shoot down into. I look good in red. Okay.
Yes. All right. Let's do a little money making of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, like, yeah. Honey, that's what I want, more money. Okay, honey, if I want to go to hell, it's going to be paved in gold. Right to commercial.
Okay, hold on. Let me write all this. D, Lockup, not D, A, Lockup. Season 5. Oh. Season 5, EP3, 40K Felon.
What are you writing it into?
No, when I do like the when I post it, yeah, I take all these notes so that I don't have to look everywhere to see what the episode was called and what it was doing. And okay, you know, I'm gonna send you a video on. No, you don't. You're not on TikTok. I think it's on TikTok. Anyways, there's a video where you like get in your door frame and you like stretch and you like do this and you're supposed to crack your back. I really need a chiropractor. Have you been? Did we talk about this?
He didn't crack my back. He didn't crack my back, you know.
Oh, like, you went to one that was weird.
I have like what I need to do, like to crack my back, I have to stick out my boobies as like far as I possibly can. Like that's like, it's like I hunch over too much like this. And so I'm like over correcting it by like, and then then that's how I like, and I feel it in the very center But immediately I feel like I can breathe better.
Yeah. I need to do that. Did you burn yourself? What's happening on your
Yeah,
arm?
yeah.
It's like I wish sometimes I wish that I did have like long hair so I could curl it, and then I see somebody who's burned themselves with a curling iron and I'm like, I'm blessed.
No, I said this in my like YouTube that like I realized that the biggest physical threat in my life besides me is this one barrel curling iron I have because it's the second burn I have and it's like I mean it's disgusting, you know.
Yeah, I was like, are you messing with cigar ash? Like you somebody just like, Chris, are you an abusive blink twice if you need help. Somebody been burning you with
Just
cigars?
like and then I'm like I'm in a new cult. This is like their branding.
Yes.
Nivea, I don't know,
Yeah,
NIVI.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Thank you. I've never, yeah. So you know how you like see like what Nivium? It's Nivium. Nivea? Nivea. Like I don't know how would you say that? I don't know what I've never known. Nexium? No, that's a
Nexi
drug.
oh,
Oh. No,
it
it's a
sounds like Nexium.
I know, but Nexium is
I mean, and also I always think when it's like a self-help pyramid scheme, it was like all these things mixed into once. It was like work, so people were
sex,
making money, and then yeah, it was
acting. Yeah.
yeah, it was like they were into everything. So it really felt legit, but like underneath it, this guy named like something MK or whatever, was just like had like a secret, had a C oh bye, had a secret like part of it where he got some other woman to agree to like creating a harem of women who would do anything for him. And it's just like, damn, y'all just want to be friends with this person so bad. I don't want to be friends with anybody that bad. Like there's no way that I would be like, oh, that guy, like, yes, I want to follow him. No.
How about Mayor Hawthorne?
I think I would just be like a groupie. But he couldn't like burn me, you know? What was he giving me in return? Money? No? I'm not getting any
D.
money. Oh, was it good?
What if it was some Dom D?
Oh, you're right. Oh,
And I
you're
mean
right. You're
Dom
right.
D.
You're
Which
right.
is
You're
only
right.
for boy,
You're right.
let's go back to the RSS feed, honey. That was a Patreon only.
That's Patreon only thought. Okay, let's go back at 1730 so I can say this when we went back. Okay, let's talk about Brittany and whatever afterwards. And we're back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to move on to Andy and Brittany?
Oh, Andy and Brittany. Yeah.
Okay. So she comes out of the party and she's like, hey, what'd you guys do? I was like, you rude ass bitch.
Oh my God. She was like, I was so great. Peyton, my son, was so happy. And I was happy again. Like, just like, and I made everyone happy and everyone saw me and everyone was like, she's out of prison and her son's happy and we should be happy for her. It's like
Yeah.
what I got from that.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, we just hung out here and chit chat. And I am annoyed with him because instead of saying his feelings, he doesn't. Like, instead of just being like, you know, we can talk about it later or whatever and just say how he feels, he in front of his son, he wants to act like everything's on the up and up. And the son is delusional too. When the son is like, they look like they're in love.
His son's
That's all
never,
right.
well, why would his son know love?
I guess.
I mean, why would his not know love like he doesn't deserve love? I'm sorry. Why would his son know a healthy expression of love? I mean,
Yeah.
at that age, I just don't assume he would. You know.
Okay. All right. That's probably true. And so then Gracie is like, I gotta go. So Gracie just like leaves and she's upset. And we still don't know exactly why Gracie's upset, besides the fact that she wants her mother. And she doesn't understand why her mother can't just, I guess, immediately move in with her. Like, I'm not sure what Gracie wants her no money having mother to do.
Have a leg to stand on and not be obviously using someone. It's just, I think that there is something to knowing your mother is an addict and then seeing her display certain behaviors that gets her from point A to point B, which is something that she wants and who she'll get over and what she'll do to get it. And I think that she understands that her mom coming out of prison, there's a certain familiar feeling and it's not making her feel good. I feel so bad for Gracie. I mean, this is very triggering, very triggering. Like
Okay.
this scene that's going to happen. Like, I'm like, oh my God, get away from her. Like, don't go. I mean, it was really hard. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. Okay. So then she's like, I'm really tired. I prefer to stay here. And I thought to myself, are you driving? What do you mean you're really tired? Why do you want to stay there? So he's like, well, then what? Like, so she's like, there's only one hotel, motel in this town. So, head towards that. And he's like, okay, but I really want to go home. And she's like, I know, but I'm tired. So then they get to the hotel and he's like, well, what do I do? And she's like, go in there and get us some rooms. And I thought, what is wrong with him? What is wrong with this man? Is it because he really doesn't want to do it? He doesn't have the money. Obviously, he doesn't have money. But like, Chris, go.
I was like, I wonder if he thought production. Like, can you? I don't know. Yeah, it's very obvious that she again is. She found. I feel like I see someone who maybe like is someone who like uses people and or like has certain sources. And Brittany is going to have like her source that is her daughter for whatever her daughter gives her, and her source right now also Andy is going to give her whatever she needs in this situation. Andy is a target for her because he is again very insecure, and insecure people will do whatever to pretend that they're in relationships and just miss certain red flags because they get to give or receive good morning texts that sometimes even get hearted. God bless. So,
Oh, when they send the heart, it's so great. Oh, you love me? Great.
so basically, yeah, so he gets his son a room and they get into a room and it's like double queen bed. And he's like, listen, there's always been, like sexual tension between us. And we haven't had a lot of time together, because she kicked me out of like having any party time with her family. But remember that time we ran into that pool? Ha ha ha. Anyway, so we're going to get it in now. So she gets there. She's like, okay, I'm going to shower. And then it's awkward. All the lights are on and it's, like overhead, just like studio light and nothing's great. Um, so many sad parts, like in the car, like when, before they get to the hotel, when he's like, did they see the cake? And she's like, oh, the cake that you spent time. Yeah, they loved it. They totally ate it. Like, I feel like, no, they didn't. They didn't see it
Yeah, that cake looked
at all.
awful.
Yeah. The kid was like, man, like she literally was like, thank you for the cake. And she walked in and she was like, ugh.
Yeah. He baked her a cake. He baked a cake for her to take to her son's birthday party as opposed to just buying one.
Yeah. Then she comes out and she's like, hey, to like, Andy's son, like, I know your sisters hate me because, I represent this and like they're threatened, but like, don't worry, I have like the best of intentions.
And then she goes right in there, goes to sleep, wakes up the next morning, tells the camera that it was awkward. And Andy thought it was great. But he tries to pretend like that's what he says. He's like, well, no, things were, there, we didn't have sex, but things are going to be awkward. We're just getting to know each other. But he's like, there's definitely sexual tension. Like we want to fuck each other.
Yeah, he absolutely. Like, like she describes like I just wanted to sleep and he just kind of kept like talking and like trying to kiss. Like I'm like my mind I'm like are you guys talking laying in different beds? Did he like try and come lay in your bed? Like are you guys sitting up? Like oh, did he try and like slightly just push your hand down towards the bottom part of the covers? Just be like, please, just one little handy to go to bed, one little handy. I did all the stuff for you. I bought the broom. I never one small handy. I haven't around. Like honestly, she deserves. Oh,
an
he
Andy
deserves a
handy.
small handy.
Andy deserves a handy. It's an Andy handy.
So from now on we're calling them Handy and Brittany. No handy, honey, because he didn't even get one.
Handy and Brittany, I love it. Yeah, he's just weird. And so she's like, I feel like I left one prison and I went into another. And we're like, duh, bitch. Yeah, you're with this man because you think that he can save you from drugs. But this man wants to touch your kitty cat and he wants you to touch his baloney pony. And you are not doing either of those things. And so, yeah.
No, it's not a prison because she couldn't just not be with him. But in prison, you must stay. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. And then this call with Gracie, do you want me to talk about it or you want to talk about it? Okay, I'll talk about it. So this call with Gracie. Gracie calls and is like, I'm upset. And she's like, "Why are you upset?" And she's like, "Because mom, it's the same story. You're doing the same thing. And yesterday you told me that the reason why that you never stop doing things is because you know that I will always love you. And so you lean on that." And she's like, "Well, I didn't mean that, but that's exactly what you said. So I don't understand what you meant by that." And she's like, "Well, when you're done being mad at me, like let's hang out. Let's have a girls' night." And she's like, "Let's have a girls' night? What? I'm a grown ass person and I've dealt with your shenanigans for so many years. And now it's on me to figure out how to make you okay and you comfortable? No. You need to make me feel comfortable. You need to make me feel okay. So yes, I'm gonna be pouty and I'm gonna say the things and I'm gonna be upset and I'm gonna be mad and you are gonna have to come crawling back to me every time. I really hate that you said that."
Also, yeah, Brittany wants her daughter to then come back to her now. Brittany and her Gracie was there the entire time. Brittany wouldn't spend one fucking moment with her. And now that she left because she got herself out of the situation, out of the party, out of being on camera because her mother was using this man and the man's weird son there. Gracie had all that and was like, "Get me the fuck out. I don't want to come back. You fucked up and you are triggering me right now." And she's like, "Please just come on, just like take a nap and then come over and say hi to me." And it's just like she stood outside for 2 hours before he came out of. I'm just like I honestly was just like, she's trash. Brittany's she's a user. That
Yeah.
everyone's a source. This is not a good person. This is like this is someone with a personality disorder. And just like when you have a personality disorder, honey, like you can't be trusted. Not nary, not ever. Like you really can't. Like that's where you're just like not it for relationships and people have to cut you out because like people can't be like tied down to like your toxicity. Like it's just people need to move on and have their energy. And for someone like Gracie that like really was the oldest and they can't stop saying how she's seen things and everything. Like I just hope that Gracie has like God bless the someone in her life with grace and compassion that can really be like, you're valid, everything you're feeling is valid, and this isn't safe. And sometimes when things are not safe, even though it seems impossible, you can do what's good for you, period. And that's it. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's what it's hard.
Yeah, and I always catch myself. I know in the beginning of this I was like, what does Gracie want her mom to do? Because in my mind Gracie knows her mom is kind of a POS, and is trashy. But the truth is like that's not how you see your parent.
She doesn't know it
So,
yet.
yeah.
She thinks that her mom had just had this disease. And so this is the promise of her not having the disease. And she, as an adult, the first time she's seeing her out of prison, it must have been such like, and the promises that were made to her, the jail talk promises. I just like, oh.
Yeah. She shouldn't have had Andy come and get her. Gracie should have picked her up, and it should have been. Yeah, it's the same thing with Scott and Lizzie. Like,
could she just go to a halfway house? Is this okay? Is Andy representing the fact that she didn't want to go to a halfway house because she wants,
I
what I'm
think she
saying?
doesn't want to be in the town that she was using drugs in.
Well, at the same time, it's like what she's doing is using someone to have money and a place to go. And it's
Mhm.
like there must be what are the other options? That I don't know.
I guess the other option is going around her family who thinks that she's a fucking fuck up loser who did this shit and who judge her. And then they're going to be like, "So when are you going to get a job? Where are you going?" And like, at least with Andy, she has the freedom of not dealing with the judgments and the like expectations that the family is going to put on her because Andy's giving her money. Andy's setting her up. Andy's probably told her, "Take all the time you need. I'll be there for you."
All right.
When her family's not going to do that, especially that she has Peyton. Peyton seems like a young kid, at least like 10, 11. So like she would have to jump into taking care of a child. So that's sad. Okay, let's move on to something happy. Chelsea and Mike. Did you not think this was so sweet?
Yeah, this is great. I love watching her like progress the season from last season, like I really love her storyline and it's really interesting. So I will just say, so the first part of her, they have a little intro song and it sounds like 90s rhythm as a dancer. Did you hear that? It was like dun 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 or something like that. It was like I don't
I
know. It made
heard
me
it,
think.
but
It was
it
like her
didn't
little
make me
beat.
think of it. It didn't make me think of it. Is it the one she was walking into the hotel?
It was the first
I
B
gotta
level.
look
It
at
was
it
like
again.
B shots to this.
Yeah.
But then
Rhythm
we
is a dancer, dancer, soul is there. You can feel it everywhere. For those who don't know,
it's a probably great karaoke song.
lift your hands and voice. Yeah,
Because people
it
think
probably is until it gets to like the non-singing part. Oh, it's probably it's probably then
get the
has this.
pressure. Oh, dun 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 dun. Yeah, like you're right. I mean, you'd have to have
Yeah. Unfortunately, like you know what is one is "Be My Lover."
great.
That one is a good one because there's certain
La
karaoke ones,
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
that where they take out the long ass like dancey part. Anywho, so
Oh,
she's got a great like purple ombre thing, and I mean, I like it, but I don't, Chris, understands more of that type of hair,
her
and
hair. Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like it. And so then she gets to the hotel, she calls her homie and talks about how nervous she is, and goes to sleep. Next morning, she wakes up, talks about how nervous she is, like she's really freaking nervous, and she gets there, and it is the most lovely. He's cute. He's cuter than I thought he was going to be. And, I love the fact that he's learned sign language and he makes her laugh, gives her a promise ring, lots of
No,
staring in each other's eyes, banana. Yeah.
yeah, at one point she has her confessional look change and it's this like red lace, like see-through, like titty confessional look where it's like red lace over like a beige
Nude.
undersuit or whatever you like, anyway, I was like, okay, Chelsea. How do you because my mind I was like, so this confessional now is filmed post his release.
Mhm.
Which means I was like, is this her subtle way of being like, guess who's getting him? Well, actually, she said she was gonna have sex with him for 6 months. Wow, remember that? Remember when she said she was gonna have sex with him for 6 months? Okay, wait. So then she gets out, he gets out, blah blah blue. She's waiting for him. She runs and jumps on him, by the way, like runs, jumps, legs around, breaks around waist. And then, they're in the car, whatever, and she loves it. And so, God bless. Do you think that she's gonna make him wait 6 months, or do you
No.
think that the red teddy top confessional look is her being like, just kidding?
Yeah, I think she's gonna make him like 4 to 6 months. No, girl, maybe like 4 to 6 days. He's very handsome and he's into her, and like he gave her a promise ring, and she, except for she's the same way. She's hoping that he's going to be a good parent to to her youngest son, and it's
Yeah.
asking a lot of a felon. It's asking a lot of someone, in the words of Louis, who has never paid a bill, who's never had any responsibilities. And maybe he has like a little bit, but he tells us about his life, and it's clear to me that he just like grew up in a super trashy family who just like let shit happen. It's like, do you remember? Maybe you didn't watch Love After Lockup, but Love After Lockup, there was like a short, dark-haired, light-eyed, blue-eyed woman. I can't remember her name, but she got with some guy who was the same thing, where they went back to see his family, and it was like just like white trash pie. It was like his daddy been in jail, like they fought immediately when they got there. It was just like a whole thing, and he used the shit out of her, and she, I don't know, it was it was like crazy. But it's the same thing. It's
I
like
hate to laugh
he
it.
literally he said he never had no other alternative. Like he just was in the life. That is just what his life was. He's like, yep. By the time I realized that I was really fucking up, it was too late. And I'm like, oh, interesting.
His dad died when he was 7, so there just probably wasn't anyone to like say shit to him. And you notice this though, when he was coming out, when he got out, like one of his stuff was just a big keyboard box.
I thought it was a TV. I was like, did he bring home his TV?
No, he really brought over like dee 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 dee, like
Like
something that would
Michael?
just like what?
Like Michael of Michael and Justine? Michael brought
Oh,
out a keyboard too. And we're like,
oh my!
what? It's like Michael had everything in prison. He had a phone, he had a keyboard, he had everything.
Oh my God! Is it a thing where in prison they allow you one?
Instrument? What do you
And
mean?
you can't have a guitar because that would wait. You probably can't have a guitar because you have strings. You could just take off a string and just kill someone.
Okay, you could probably have though like a flute. No, but you could hit somebody over the head with that.
You could
A
hit. I mean, technically, you could hit someone over the head with a keyboard. Maybe it's just awkward.
it's awkward. It's loud.
You're just
You,
like suddenly just like. "Wah!" I mean, I don't know. You know, God
he could
bless.
have a recorder, which I hated those things.
I love
Isn't it
them.
just a little flute?
Yeah, that's why I was like, you could probably. I mean, no, you can stick that up somewhere. I don't think you can have that. That's a promising object in
What,
prison.
yeah, what kind of maybe you could have like a triangle, like a ding, you know what I mean, like ding dong, you know what I mean, like
You're just like,
Christmas
oh,
Carol, you could just hit the like ding.
there's Kevin, honey. He just loves to play that triangle all the time. It's Kevin.
Oh,
But really, the triangle could also be like, you know how like Brittany and Kirok's like, yeah, you know, like when we would hook up in prison, they would just like call out the number 12. Like, you know, the guy that plays the triangle could just be like, triangle, triangle. I don't know, like ding, 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 ding. Get off. Get all the recorders out of the box, everyone. The whole symphony, honey, is a different kind of symphony.
yeah, someone has a xylophone that's like bing bing bing. It's time for lunch.
Oh my God.
It's a whole musical.
Musical, yeah.
Musical prison.
Musical The Wire. The Wire, the
yeah.
musical. Write it, Law.
Yes.
Because you know I haven't seen it.
Wire the
Anyway.
musical.
Is one of us gonna write? It's not gonna be me.
Yeah. So she talks a little bit about every single relationship she's been in that's been abusive, and it's because people take advantage of her. So I really hope this is not the same thing.
I know. And I don't first okay, so I don't think so. I feels really like he's so thankful to have found her and it feels like he sees her as being like his little soulmate, you know, so it makes me
Yeah,
happy.
I love it too. Okay. Kirok
Yeah, and Brittany.
and Brittany.
Yeah, so she, you know, gets to his mom's place. Or, you know, we've already been at the mom's place. We've been loving the mom. The mom gave us like the most beautiful scene with like some beautiful words last episode that was like really just so lovely and just like you know made me really happy because it's probably the best scene possible of this whole series. In the past, you know, of like goodness,
Mm-hmm,
of sweetness and or goodness or like actual genuine human love. It was great.
Yeah.
But one other thing is that, you know, he's been in prison for a whole last second and he's been missing that cooking, honey. So he gets Brittany to fix him a plate, you know, because, yeah, he's been dreaming of mom's soul food and specifically her beef ribs. So much so that he eats this plate. I mean, I'm sorry, you just like hate me for this. And like, it is just like, it is food in hand, into mouth. It's don't you put your like there's like no room for anyone to even try and slide a finger in between. It's just like it is very specifically someone who has been food insecure in a certain way, right? Where they're insecure about the eating or whatever. It's just that kind of thing. Oh,
That's how I eat when I'm by myself.
No, you do not. No, you do not.
When I am by myself.
What are you talking about?
When I am by myself and I have something homemade, like rice and beans and like oxtail or like stewed chicken or even beef ribs, oh, it's quiet and I get down. I mean, not
beef
not
ribs
that
obviously are a finger food, so I'm not a
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
person. But but like rice and beans, I don't understand what you're telling me. So what are you trying to tell me? Right? How are you saying that you eat rice and beans right now?
Oh, like if it's rice and beans and oxtail, then I'm like, you know, because I have like hot sauce on it and like a pepper on the side. I'm salivating now. So I eat that, and then like I'm like, and then I have to tell myself to slow down.
You're just like, and you're just like, yeah, okay.
I'm like, it's so good. I never get this. It's so delicious. Like, yeah, and I have to tell myself to slow down, or someone makes fun of me in the house. Like, damn, why am you crying now? You hungry? I'm like, okay, so let me slow down, because like getting that good ass like family made food is just so fucking, I don't know what to tell you. It's like there's something so comforting about rice and beans and oxtails and stewed chicken and like beef ribs and like all those with a sauce, anything that has a sauce on it. Chris, I am salivating.
I guess it was just I couldn't tell what foods he was putting into his mouth using his fingers, and if they were all finger appropriate foods, like ribs.
No, he did have some. It looked like sweet potato. I can't guarantee that it was sweet potato, but it looked like it was like collard greens for sure, like a sweet potato yammy situation, and then the beef. So you have the beef in one hand, and then you're eating the other things with a fork.
Okay, yeah, but obviously every woman at the table was like, "Absolutely fucking not. No.
Yes.
Can you
Except for Brittany.
take
Brittany
a
was
back
like,
seat?"
let him eat. And I was like, yeah, let that man eat. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm not maybe not that fast, but I am into what is happening on my plate and only into that. um so then they get him then they have a cousin who like sits far away and they're like, why are you sitting the far? He's like, I have farts.
Because I'm farting.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, thank you." And they're like, "Also, can we light a candle?" And then, but they can't light a candle. They have to light something else, honey. They just like, yeah. Karak's mom just like brings him over like a cigar, you
Yeah.
know.
That his I
And
think mom's boyfriend like smokes or something. I don't know.
okay, now Kirok also obviously isn't a cigar smoker because I mean, yeah, one the top thing is that you can't inhale. That's
Yeah.
the top thing.
And it's so weird. The first time
Yeah.
I did inhale, because no one told me I wasn't supposed to,
Oh,
but having the smoke just move around your mouth invites gingivitis. You know what I'm saying? Like just having it,
hmm.
just, just think about the smoke, just like, I'm just like, oh, people who smoke cigarettes usually lose their teeth. So, I mean, and they're inhaling. Imagine a cigar smoker who's not.
I didn't. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I'm so yeah.
Um,
Um,
he says that prison saved his life because he was 19 when he went in and he realized that he made a mistake and now he's out, I believe 7 years later, and the world is so different.
yeah.
So,
I love the fact that when Brittany tries to smoke the cigar, Kirok's mom's like, "Yeah, she knows how to do it. Put your whole mouth around it. She's used to it." Another cute thing that is like when they are leaving, she like kind of like belts them out in a cute way or whatever. She like, I like Brittany's relationship with Kirok's mom, and
mhm.
also Brittany's family isn't probably going to be as supportive, which is sad that and I'm happy we have this love here for that. Then we get to the hotel and I can't quite tell if she's barefoot or not, or if just wearing the slimmest little flip-flops and this gold or sequins purse. What
You
was
mean
that?
when they leave or they're coming
When they
back?
get to the airport, I'm sorry, when they get to the hotel.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
I know she's wearing the black outfit. I'm assuming she's not barefoot. Like I would just
Okay,
like love to assume that she's not.
I would love
They
to assume it too. Yeah.
they get there and she's like, "Babe, do you like the hotel?" And I'm like, "What is it? Just like a regular ass Marriott?" You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Okay. Babe, do you like the hotel? And he's like, yeah. And he just like, I think is kind of slightly overwhelmed. And she just is so excited about showing all the things. And they get there, and I'm happy for them. I guess they like go to the shower, and then the next morning they wake up and having sweet nothings said to each other.
Oh, did you give out? You went over the gifts, right?
Oh no.
Okay, so she gives him a bounty, honey. She spent $3,000 to $4,000 on a Michael Kors wallet, a new gold watch, LV slippers, and he's just like, my little mommy spoiled me. So she's just like, like it's our first night together again. They had brought up like, what it was like to have sex in prison, but this is the first time they get to be intimate, like without being scared of being caught and being comfortable and being free and all of that, which is great. And yeah, she like kind of cries, but it had been 2 years. So basically, yeah, the next day it all goes to hell. What?
It really does. I mean, she's trying to get it feels like based on the editing that she's trying to get Kirok out this space. And Kirok is like, huh? And so she finally gets him out. They get into the car and they've got like either 20 or 40 minutes or something, 30 minutes to get to the spot. She's trying to drive and put it in. And then he's like, give it to me. Slow down and give it to me. So presumably he takes it and puts in the address. And then they get there and he goes inside and he calls her inside and he's like, why did you drive me to the wrong place? And she's like calm and she's like, babe, it wasn't, you told me Richfield. And he's like, no, I definitely didn't say that. I said Chesterfield. And I said to myself, well, when you put the address in the motherfucking GPS, why didn't you find the right spot? Why is it her fault?
Mm-hmm.
And then for you to call her while you're in there to like let everyone know that you're not to blame for that when it's your life. So if you want to make sure you go to the right place, then you fucking check and make sure you go to the right place. It just made me mad.
Yeah, and not promise it doesn't bode well for his future.
Yep.
Because that kind of shit is just like same thing with Brittany. Like it doesn't bode well when you're not taking responsibility early on and accountability where you are and maybe an understanding of the road ahead. But often too, we see people try and skirt the whole thing by getting in relationships and thinking that that is solving like a band-aid. Suddenly they're an adult in a relationship, everything is secure, and that happens across the board for people who are coming out of prison. And I think it's the same thing with women who are like my husband, like that kind of thing, which means this thing means fine
Mm-hmm.
because it's an outward thing. And I think that when you get out of prison, you start to maybe try and check things that make sure that you get to amplify to others how okay you are.
Yeah.
So in this situation, yeah, like Brittany had said she prefers or tends to be submissive with Key Rock. I don't know again when he is in a situation like you are, if he tries to do this kind of like, I'm going to blame her just to buy himself time because he fucked up or whatnot. It was really shitty. And we have a little Chiron saying 5 minutes to the probation meeting. And we don't know how far away Chesterfield is from Richmond, but it
Yeah.
seems like Key Rock should be running out and not just calling her at that point.
And it seems like Key Rock should have been putting the GPS in the phone he has or whoever's phone while they're in the hotel to see how long it takes him to get there. Like, why is it all on her? So it just
The
annoys
night
me.
before. It should have
Yeah.
happened. You should have happened the night before. You'd be like, how long will it take? Where are we going? Okay, how long will it take to get there? Okay, go ahead and add 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what time do you want to have breakfast? Okay, do you? I mean, we
Yeah.
can just see. Want to try? If we can, we get out of here. Okay, we need to be here to have breakfast. If we don't, then it's this. Should we just
Yep.
pack and make sure everything's already packed? Because like sometimes you like leave things like your weird shit in that one like closet. I don't know why you guys took things out of your bag anyway. You seem to have been there for 2 seconds and you just boned pretty much. All you got to do is like put all your new gifts away and like
Yeah.
for some reason some candles.
Yes. Yes. And he's annoyed because she snaps, but not at him, just like we gotta go, we gotta go. Don't snap at me. Then in Spanish in the car when he like does too much. And she's like, listen, when I'm Latina, when I'm done, I'm done. And I was like, listen, I feel you. Okay.
Mhm.
So last couple.
No, we have 2 more couples.
I don't want to do them. Do you want to do them? Didn't we say we weren't gonna do them? Then he's gone. We don't have to.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Well, I just love the PI. Okay, I just want to say, okay, can I do something quickly?
Go.
Okay, so I don't really care about him, but Nika, I just like Nika. So okay, Renika and gets to have a situation where she meets his PI, God bless, and it's the PI that her friend Ray got in, and the PI does this crazy thing where he like pretends to be the hotel, calls Auntie and like gets a bunch of information. Then Auntie gets pissed and like texts him like she knew that it was like not real or whatever. And now they're just gonna go have like a cheaters style showdown. Literally cheaters. Did you watch Cheat? Okay, so now I don't care about talking about them, but question of law. How did you watch Cheaters and how many Cheaters episodes and don't you love Cheaters? And one time that he got shot. Can you believe that? Cheaters.
No.
One time the host got shot or stabbed. Oh yeah. It was a real ass show.
I never watched that.
Never watched Cheaters.
No.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No. I keep thinking of To Catch a Pedophile, and I know
I'm dead. Okay, I'm now no longer alive. To catch a pedophile, it's predator, and I know, it's a child predator pedophile. But also, if it was just like the predator, like what if like what if it was like some sort of like Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque horrible monster? Oh my god, I love you so much. No, wait,
Predator.
Cheaters is this. Cheaters is a PI guy or whatever, like also the host has been contacted by a scorned lover who has reason to believe that their lover is doing them dirty. And then we go through a journey where, of course, this person gets tracked by the people and there's like evidence. Oh, we've seen that. Yes, Target A told their lover that they had to stay late at work. And so we went to the body shop he's supposed to be at. He leaves and he gets in his car. So we follow the car to a local bar where the subject is spotted. This is literally like verbatim. I'm like, you can tell if you watch the show how much I watched it from like, this is exactly what happens. They be spotted him at the bar getting comfortably close to this person. and you see like picture, foggy, pixelated of just like two people drinking, obviously laying, just like later on the subjects went into a car and they leave together, or in the car you suddenly see the car rocking or bobbing heads. Okay, so then that seals it. Then they go back with that information to the person that like has been wronged, and then that person has to be like, oh my god, well, where are they now? Guess what? Weirdly, still there or whatever, like weirdly. So then they all get in a car and the one's real heated and they have the cameras and they get there and it's like they go up and they confront them, and it's and then the person that like they're like fucking around with, who's like, what's this? It's always like, I don't know about this, or I get me. It's it's always on like late night. I mean, there has got to be, I know this to be true, a crossover of Love After Lockup people who watch Cheaters. It has to be like it ticks off the same things. Love Cheaters. Okay, go on.
Okay, so let's move on to Melissa and Louie. So we start this scene where she's like, I've been waiting 20 years to be with Louie. They keep making her say that. And I don't, you haven't been waiting 20 years. You've been waiting 1 year. Like, you cannot talk to me that you wanted to be with this bad boy who was so hot, but for 10 years was just addicted to hardcore drugs. And you have just been waiting. That's crazy. So anyways, and this is something that we find out on this episode, that he actually became a drug addict or in Georgia. I thought he became like a drug addict in Jersey. And so her moving him to Jersey was a bad idea. But no, he's like, coming to my mom's house is triggering because of all the shit I did there. Now, let me tell you, Donna is crazy. Like, I knew she was crazy, but when she at the end hollers at him and points and then walks away, I was like, oh, something wrong with you. Like, so yeah. Anyways, so
it's just a classic kind of like, oh, sorry, yeah, it's a classic, I mean, overarching mom. I mean, no one has ever, it's crazy that, well, I guess I wonder, okay, no one's really seen her parent for a long time, but I'm sure a lot of people saw her parent him, and she was probably doing all the same shit before. She probably has not changed one bit. She's probably been like a fossilized woolly mammoth in this house. I mean, I've seen the house. Obviously, nothing has been changed for a minute. So just because she's not in prison doesn't mean that she doesn't have like a whole bunch of like mental health issues. I don't know if she's ever had anyone, I wonder, to be like, oh, Donna, you have to absolutely let it fucking go. You have to get a life. This is not your husband. This is your son who needs to live, honey. I mean, like his own self. And I know that you want to take responsibility, but at the same time, I mean,
yeah,
she must look at him like he's just like a baby. He has a weird face. He has one of those faces, honey, that like, did she know that he was going to have this face? Because even in his like pictures, the last mugshots, like he's wasted away in such a way. I hate to say this, but like, there's no way that she's like that's attractive. Sometimes I look at Melissa, I'm like, Melissa looks like the Judices or the Gorgas. Half of me is like, don't you kind of want like a tanned, muscly, strong looking person? Like Louis looks like, God bless, like he's been sick, like physically going through a really horrible illness that would make me feel bad to say one of the illnesses. You know what I'm saying?
It's his teeth. I mean, it's other things, but the teeth the teeth is the thing that like to me makes it like if the teeth were if the teeth were okay, I think I would feel differently.
I wouldn't.
Okay. So like they're on the way home and mother's in the back seat dictating, and those two are in the front trying to talk, and the mother and Louis are talking, and Melissa said something. Yeah, sorry. Melissa says something. I know I'm doing it because I'm getting ready to do these accents.
I know her
Melissa says something and she's like, I didn't ask you to chime in. And I was like, bet you're in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're eating baked Ruffles in my fucking car, in my back seat. Don't you get any goddamn chips anywhere. No crumbs anywhere, you stupid.
Yes. She just immediately, she was crying and then she's like crazy. So they get back to the house, and Louis like, there's a lot of bad memories here, a lot of trauma. Like, and now we know that his mother was part of that. I'm like, who knows what she did? Who knows? Who knows what she did? Did she have a husband or whatever, a boyfriend who did like what did she do? But she definitely isn't caring. I mean, not caring. She definitely
Verbally abuse
isn't
him. I
very,
bet
yeah. She's verbally abusive. She's probably like mentally just like hard to deal with. And so it sucks because of whatever. So the mother all of a sudden gets upset because they're going to go to a hotel room but first she makes pasta, which doesn't look good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, especially coming high and off of Key Rock's mom, who made a fucking spread. Again, yeah, Melissa can't wait to be like, we have to go F somewhere. Again, Key Rock and Brittany had the good grace to go F somewhere, God bless. But Donna is insane and for some reason thinks that her grown ass son, who hasn't had a female warm pocket, hot pocket, hasn't had a female hot pocket in a minute, that her grown ass son doesn't deserve a female hot pocket is like testimony to how she views him and what she cares about his needs. Okay.
He's 41. That's the point of no return. 40.
The point of wait. Oh, I can't wait to hear you say what 41, huh? What?
I was just say 40. I was going to reiterate 41.
Oh.
Like, it's just crazy that she would do things like that unless it's fake. But really, do you think that the pasta sauce looked good? Did you think it looked good?
Okay, so then she's like, I've been making sauce and meatballs. And then this is what happens. The meatballs are sitting in a thing. She brings out this pasta that's hot, penne, but has no sauce on it. There is paper plates with hot pasta and supposedly meatballs and sauce. You cannot put that on it. There's like nothing worse to put on a paper plate than hot, like soup, chunky soup on a paper plate. It's just two heady mini hot things. It's like, also,
who was gonna help her wash dishes,
prison?
Chris?
You can't wash a dish, bitch.
Who's gonna help her wash dishes? None of those two lazy bums. So she's not gonna waste any of her good china on them. And
It's
Melissa's like, I'm done.
This house, was it like to look? Do you look at the house like in her place, all the wood paneling things?
Like, just go back to the picture. Let's go back to the pictures. Let's just look at that china cabinet.
I know it. Look at that little figurine.
Look at the white bread.
The bread. Yeah, the bread not toasted, just on. Wait, let's just talk about this. It's white penne, okay? White penne pasta. Nothing on it. There is white Parmesan cheese grater off to the side. So that's the best choice that has been made, is that you could have freshly grown Parmesan, which I will give her that. I will give her that she doesn't have just like Kraft. See that white thing?
Mm-hmm.
Parmesan. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then a just kind of cold loaf of bread. Like, I don't quite understand what she thinks people do with the bread. Do they make a pasta penne sandwich?
She has a Miller Lite in a Miller Lite in a beer cozy. She has a beer cozy.
Well, and that makes sense. What? That makes sense. You have to keep your beer cold. Of all the things, that's fine. I'll give her that, but yeah, no, that food was just, he's like, I want to take a, and then his way to get out of it is like, yeah, mom, I got to take a to-go plate because I got to get myself to the hotel. She's like, what? She gets so upset. And then she is like, you're not going to hotel. It's a bad idea. By the way, at this point, she's slurring. So the beers have been beering. And they've been cold beering. The koozie been koozying. She's slurring. She doesn't want them to leave. She starts to she puts on a muumuu at some point. I'm not quite sure how. It's like a Mrs. Roper muumuu. She makes Melissa the couch bed. Melissa's like, this one right here, you're missing right here. Oh yeah, I'll totally all night long. Fucking bitch.
I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Me and Louie have been waiting a long time to have sex. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't want us to have sex. So then they both get under the covers in their fucking clothes. Now, let me tell you, Donna has been drinking in the backseat since they left the prison. Like, it's a 3-hour drive. You're right. She was eating those chips and drinking her Miller Lite.
Yeah, she's been drunk. The addict thing runs in the family. It's like, and she's just not been in prison. Maybe she doesn't drive. But like, I don't think that person, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we did it. 59, my God. Listen, here's the thing. We feel like we love you guys so much, and we give you 5 stars. We
Mm-hmm.
give you 5 stars
We do.
as a podcast audience. We always have. And if you want us to submit that in writing, we will.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go ahead and, like, reciprocity, just give us 5 stars. Wherever you listen to podcasts, but, like, Apple or whatever, if you want, or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Spotify. Other than that, was going to tell you how you can also give us money.
Yes, you could do so at patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get the episodes early and the visuals of what you're listening to right now, as well as a live every first Monday of the month, which is coming up this a Monday.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, guys, I mean, it's a good time. We're gonna add some more stuff. We also, anytime we talk about stuff we put it on here. Like there's a Cat Williams roast on here right now,
Yeah.
2 of them in fact, and it's a good time. So join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties, $10 a month to support your girls, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.